The fan-favorite time-traveling panther with a lightsaber, Clairen, has made her triumphant return to Rivals 2. By sheer player count, Clairen was the most popular character in Rivals 1, and based on the character spread I'm seeing in the beta so far, she's shaping up to at least be a very, very popular choice in the new one too. She's got a ton of returning flair from the original Rivals of Aether, but there's plenty of new stuff to keep her fresh too. Whether you're looking to play as Clairen, or you're sizing up the competition, I've got you covered. I'll be going over her game plan in neutral, how her moveset flows together, her tipper stun mechanic, everything she's added to the arsenal with the new game, the whole shebang. General playstyle. At her core, Clairen is the Rivals universe swordie, the Aether Marth animal. Things get a lot more unique from there, but if you like characters with mid-range disjoint that rely on flowing your moves together with finesse in order to hit the perfect combo, you should definitely give her a shot. Not that she can't function without finesse and precision, oh trust me, I've tried. No! Wait, what? But at a higher level of play, precise spacing is going to be the difference between killing at 90 and killing at 190. Her normals are all swinging the sword, with a mix of long, sweeping attacks and quicker, stabbier hitboxes. Her lightsaber gives her major disjoint in a game that doesn't have that much of it, which is a huge plus to her strength. This isn't Smash with 37 Fire Emblem characters. There's Clairen, and now Loxodon, and then sometimes Fleet's bow, which you're going to strictly outrange anyways. Her sword slices through projectiles too, helping her remain mobile instead of relying on shielding or parrying, which will ground you in place. But you don't get those huge strengths without some drawbacks. She's the queen of disjoint, and that comes at the cost of having slower moves on average. Not like elephant slow, but you'll need to think twice before swinging wildly without a plan. If you're too predictable, you will get parried or whiff punished or both. She gets a ton of mileage from stuffing movement with big aerial hitboxes and by calling out grounded movement by taking space with her tilts, jab, and dash attack. Wave dash out of shield into the A button is going to be your best friend. And once you get your opponent to respect your giant sword with shielding or crouch canceling, her phenomenal grab game becomes even more potent. Just like her swordsman brethren from other games, Clairen thrives on juggling. She's fantastic at keeping her opponent in the air, utilizing her disjoint to scope out landings. And between her throws, her tilts, and her war crime down air, she's got no shortage of ways to pop her opponents into the air or dump them off stage to get the party started. Specials. While her normals are generally good at controlling space and comboing, her specials are much more specific in their use cases. They're powerful, but not powerful in the Swiss Army knife way that, say, her Nair is. To exemplify this, her new getup and ledge specials are even more precise versions of her standard getup attacks. The ledge one doesn't take quite as much space as the regular ledge attack, but it pops you into a second hit that can lead to reversals if you think you've got the read. Similarly, her special getup doesn't hit on both sides like her regular getup does, but it's got the same extended sweet spot effect. And you can turn it around. Dear God, it took me like 3 beta weekends to realize that. Her down special is a counter that makes a force field that totally stops all projectiles from entering or leaving. Nothing enters and nothing escapes. Trying to start a fireball or arrow just dissipates. So while it's handy to have a counter in general, it is absolutely matchup changing against projectile-heavy characters like Fleet, or Kane, or Mai Zetterberg. Side Special is a horizontal burst with a sweet spot where she started. It's a high-risk, high-reward movement tool, and it's critical in her recovery so you can get to the wall before wall jumping. And don't worry, we'll talk about that sweet spot in a sec. Her Up Special is a 2-part move. Tap the input for an initial swing, and then hold it down for a second lunge. Mix it up to feint going high or low, bait out a parry, or just drift out of harm's way. Her recovery is serviceable, but in a game with teleportation, and flying, and floats, having a more predictable, parryable recovery is still a little bit of a drawback. You'll need to mix up your wall jump timings and side B heights, and up special variations to make it back to the stage. Okay, her neutral special. This is the new one. I really thought this move was kinda awful for a while. It takes a long time to charge, and it's pretty weak if you don't charge it. She's also stuck walking real slow along the ground, or stalls in the air a bit, but at least I guess you can angle the aerial version. And then Boyko and Stango showed me the light. At the time of recording, Stango is pretty sure a top 3 player in the game, and straight up thinks that this is her best move. Ironically, from how I described her other specials, this one is the Swiss Army knife. Every variation of charge timing has its own uses. Use a quick one to pop someone in the air above you. Charge it a little longer to get some wildly disgusting kills in the blast zone. And even if you miss, your opponent now needs to respect the massive space that it demands, and use that aerial slow fall and angle to make your trigonometry just a little bit easier. I'm not gonna lie, this stuff is hard. It's definitely harder than what I usually include in these how blank characters work videos. Even I don't use it well yet, but I'd be doing you a massive disservice by not showing you what it's capable of. Think of this as inspiration instead of just your level 1 game plan. The observant or even awake viewer will notice I've ignored one of the biggest aspects of Clairen's kit. And that's because it's so important that I need to devote an entire section of the video to it. We've got to talk about her tipper stun mechanic. Tipper stun. Just like Marth in Melee, every move where Clairen swings her sword has a more precise spacing at the very tip of the hitbox, which we call the tipper. But unlike Melee Marth, where tipper spacing gives you a boost in damage and knockback, Clairen's does that too, but it also traps her opponent in space and time. It stuns them there for a bit before launching them on their way. And that added stun blows her entire combo game wide open. There's a ton of follow-ups that are not possible if you don't hit your tipper spacing, and it unlocks a whole new level of creativity to her gameplay. And I want to remind you, it's literally every single sword move, and that includes her specials. Also, her counter that doesn't use the sword, just for fun. And her special pummel applies stun to all her throws, turning them from DI mix-ups into devastating true confirms. Want to rack up some damage without needing a read? Hit your tipper nair, or hit fall tipper fair to lock him in place and get a stronger follow-up to fling him off stage. Literally true re-grab people out of tipper down air, or get a strong attack kill confirm with any of them when you need it. Hit fall tipper up air into up strong. Literally whatever you want to do, as long as you've got the precision and reaction times to keep up with your creativity. Even finding your openings becomes much more potent when you're spacing well. Tipper jab, forward tilt, and down tilt all go from being faster spacing get off me options into being true combo starters, or just easy ways to dump someone off stage to start edgeguarding. Or if you're being edgeguarded, hitting someone with the tipper hitbox of up special can guarantee your spot back on the stage. Side special can do both. Sometimes it's just an angry spot dodge, but sometimes it can be an inspired piece of the combo game puzzle. Straight up, against a good opponent, finding your tippers is the difference in confidently killing at 90 and fishing desperately for any stray kill move at 200. Clairen truly is a character that can function fine at a base level, but keeps getting more and more expressive and more interesting the better you get at controlling her. She's very freeform and definitely not a set-up, set-play character like Orcane or Fleet. But if you're in the zone, hitting your tippers and moving fluidly, the combos will flow anyways. You'll hit something brand new and tuck it back away in your brain to lab it out later. Or, just to clip it for Twitter. I know how it is. Like I said earlier, she's extremely popular and you'll need to learn how to play against Disjoint no matter what. Or maybe you're like me and you didn't love her in Rivals 1, but something clicked while playing her in the sequel. Either way, it's time to brush up in your spacing. You're gonna need it.